Hello everyone, my name is Mike and I am a software engineer who spends way too much time thinking about the intersection of technology and creativity. By day, I build software systems, but my real passion lies in finding ways to merge technology with art. Whether it's coding or animation, drawing, playing VR games, or exploring AI tools as a creative tool, a creative partner, I'm here to share my experiments and discoveries and all the fun projects that I do with you. You know what fascinates me? It's that there's wildly different perspectives and different opinions when people react to AI. On the one hand, you have people that are convinced that AI is coming for all of our jobs, kill all the creativity and fun and drive. On the other end, there's those people who dismiss it as just fancy autocomplete, nothing revolutionary. Some people are using AI to hustle. They really want to make money, they want to churn out a bunch of content and chase profit, while others are finding emotional support, having deep conversations with their AI companions about their thoughts and emotions. Then there are those curious minds that are leveraging AI as a window into exploring everything from quantum physics to ancient philosophy to history, economics. Working in tech, I see these contradictions played out every single day at work, even in big companies where you'd probably expect that people working in tech would have more ideas about what AI is capable of and what they are not, but you'd be surprised. And that's what makes this particular moment so interesting. Instead of picking a side, I'd really like to spend some time to explore these boundaries and these intersections where technology meets human creativity. And I want to find out what's really possible when we approach AI as not a replacement or a threat, but rather something else entirely. So, coming back to the topic, I've been wanting to restart this YouTube channel for a while, but with so many different interests spanning from coding to animation to quantum physics, I just couldn't pin down a particular theme for restarting this channel, because I keep hearing that you gotta stick to one thing so that your audience will come to your channel just for that particular thing. But recently I find this AI hype to be particularly suited for restarting my channel, because it really just touches on so many different facets of our society, right? Everything that I'm interested in is impacted by AI. This isn't really gonna be another how to make $1 million with AI channel. We have enough of those. Instead, I want to explore something more fundamental. Like how AI can be a genuine companion in our creative and technical journeys. Ultimately, I think that's what drives artists, what drives me to create things, is the need to translate the precise vision in our heads into a concrete reality. So that's why a simple text-to-image video generation will never capture specifically and exactly what I had in mind. So I really was curious about the different AI generator tools that I can use to enhance my work. Like, for example, when I work on animations, I can draw those keyframes, and I just don't have enough time to work on a 5-minute short, filling in all of the in-betweens between the keyframes and making sure that they're smooth, and also coloring them is just gonna take months and months. And for an amateur, a beginner like me, AI can really be a helpful tool to increase my productivity and bring my vision, onto the page much faster. That's why I believe in identifying which particular parts of your creative process demands human touch and which can really benefit from AI collaboration. And for animation, AI can help brainstorm story ideas. It's not going to replace you as the person who comes up with the ideas, but it can really, help you get out of your creative rut. For example, if you really just want to get things out fast from a utilitarian perspective, totally makes sense, to use AI tools to make you more productive. But from a learner's perspective, that's my perspective, it is an awesome tool that basically puts the whole world in your own palm, and then you can really, examine the different angles about how to look at certain concepts, learn technical stuff, generate ideas for your creative workflow, and put everything together. That's very, very helpful. A lot of people are saying that AI is killing creativity, but to be honest, if you really understand the transformer architecture, how LLMs work, basically AI is as good as the prompts or the context that you give it. It's basically a probabilistic, stochastic, autocomplete, right? It's basically token prediction. For the next token, given all of the context that you've given the model, what is the most likely, the second likely tokens that it should generate next? Those contexts, right? Those tokens that you provide to the model, those are your creativity. You're guiding the model to generate things along your vision, whether you are creating images, creating videos, or even using it to vibe code. Like I've tried vibe coding before. If you don't hold the hand of the AI, metaphorically speaking, the AI just tends to just go around implementing a bunch of stuff, going in loops, and it just gets confused over time. So you really need to deeply understand the architecture behind whatever you're building in order to guide the AI, right? They're really good at those low entropy stuff, right? Like implementing an algorithm, implementing some specific logic. They're really good at it. Claude 3.7 Sonnet or Gemini 2.5 Pro, like those are the two frontier models that are really good at, long context and writing code. But if you want to brainstorm and figure out the ideas and architect an application that has an actual backend, you have to deeply understand how the APIs work, how the data flows, and what the schemas look like in your SQL database. All those fundamental computer science and software engineering concepts you should at least have an understanding of in order to guide the system, guide the model to build the stuff that you want. Because otherwise, I've tried this before. I've tried vibe coding with like RooCode, which is honestly a very good open source project, and started building a bunch of different projects, and they started out perfect. Couple of prompts, you can build pretty impressive websites even with the backend. But as they grow larger and larger and larger, up to like 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 lines of code, it just becomes so complicated that it's not retaining the context and retaining an understanding of the architecture and how the code works. And then at that point, if you don't understand how things work, you're just not going to be able to even read the code and tell the LLM that, hey, this is where the bug is. Please look at these files because that's where the API is messed up. Please look at this because you are using a completely wrong paradigm, and that is having a bunch of deadlocks. And yeah, so those things you wouldn't even know because you have been just putting everything on YOLO mode. And YOLO mode means that, everything is auto-approved, which sounds cool, right? You can just let the agent run and you go make a coffee, take a shower, and come back 20 minutes later. It's done a perfect MVP of your product, but then you have no idea how the product works. It's problematic in vibe coding, but it's problematic in every other pursuit that involves AI as well. If you're just creating art without knowing fundamentally how you want to compose your shot, what sort of emotional impact you want your movement, your character to look like, those nuanced details in those animations are really what I believe the heart of animation, right? And a master animator, someone who worked at Disney for 20 years, 30 years, they know about these things because they observe real life people walking around with real life animals and movements and understand all the little nuances and tricks of making things click. So I think these are things that you only acquire through experience, right? You work on those things, you pour your heart out working on those frames, those cell sheets, night over night, month over month to work on a 5-second shot. You really get to understand the movement a lot. So I think ultimately, whatever field that you're in, that you're leveraging AI for, to streamline your process, you have to understand what's your end goal, right? If your end goal is just to build a Snake game that's hosted on some server on Azure, Sonnet 3.7 can just easily code that up in like 20 seconds. And you can make a video and you can make money, sure. But if you want to work on mid-size to large-size enterprise level, like production level software, you really need to understand the fundamentals of software engineering. And same thing goes for animation and everything else. I don't want to attack vibe coding or vibe animating, but I really think that ultimately, if you use AI and LLMs and Gen AI as a way to learn and be curious, then you have a lot more chance at success, and you have a lot more chance at improving yourself and making the best product that we humans can make. That's what I truly believe in. All that I wanted to say in this video is that here's my philosophy. AI should be your creative collaborator, your co-pilot, but not your autopilot. It should never be that. When I'm coding, I'm still architecting, making sure that I make those crucial decisions about system design, about the user experience and everything that I really deeply care about in my products, in my code. And then AI would just help me think through those decisions and handle some of the implementation details. But ultimately, I'm still steering the ship. That's what's important. You should have that human agency despite the advent of AI agents, right? It's all about maintaining the mastery of your craft while leveraging AI as a powerful collaborator. So in the upcoming videos, I'll dive deeper into these intersections of technology and arts and creativity, and we'll explore both the capabilities and limitations of these AI systems, agents, and whatever, while also doing real work like animating, drawing, building VR games, and coding. Like, all these things are super interesting to me and hopefully to you as well. So we'll always have an eye towards how they can advance our creative and technical work rather than replace it. Ultimately, I want my channel to be a safe space where we can have nuanced discussions, conversations about AI, and not just the hype or the fear, but the practical reality of working alongside these systems as creative partners. All right. Thank you so much for spending time with me here. Bye bye. Ciao.